boom, 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 boom. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Just the notorious, just please us with your lyrical thesis. Feeling, feeling it, being little seas, Malibu sea breeze, bone peas, palm trees, without Diablos. Where the players dwell. I think that's what I put in there. Sanctuary seas. Tony, feel up in the middle like Moni. She don't know me, but she's setting up to blow me. There we go. Okay, I think I'm live on both channels. Let me just make sure. They call it Virgin. Oh, I need to know where we stand. Do we share this special thing called love? Yep, I'm live on both channels. I do. What about you? I just can't get enough of your love. Where do I go? What do I do if I can't live without your love? Thinking of you makes me feel like I'm the only one for you. That's that 112. What y'all know about that? Spartans, prepare for glory. What's good, good people? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and once again the song. We are back. If you are typing in the chat and you don't see on the Relationship Rehab your comments, that's because you ain't on the United Guns of America channel with one of my lovely mods. Please put the link to the channel on over there so that they can come on over here to this other gun channel. So, first and foremost, yes, I am rocking the shit out of this pink on Easter Sunday, what some of y'all Christian folk call Resurrection Sunday. That's the day that he rose. That's right. So happy Easter to everybody. Let me get my tie straight. Happy Easter to everybody. Yes, we are back again. And hey, I'm excited to be here with y'all. I can't believe it. I ain't on time, but I'm early. I'm usually 11, 12 o'clock type of broadcaster. But hey, it's 9:45 and we got the show started. So golf clap for me. We doing good. Thank you for the compliments. I try, every once in a while, now and again, I try to, get a little dapper. I'm actually starting doing this a little more often, just to switch it up, Every time I'm usually on here rocking the t-shirts or something with the Voltron or the Transformers, or I have something like the Randy Watson, something like that. But hey, I had to switch it up today. And yes, if I must say so myself, I look damn good. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Hey, you okay? You see the eyes? Roll them. You know what it is. But we are here and it is going down. Let me tell y'all something. I just want to say, man, I was looking back through some of my older videos earlier today and just reviewing some of the content. Man, have I come a long way. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm actually thinking about posting some of my old videos that I did from, what is this? This 2019, so that would have to been 2016, so 3 years ago. Just to see the growth and the development. For those y'all don't know, that's GD or whatever that was, 100. I done 122nd low down. Y'all know what it is, 12 deuce all day. But growth and development over a 3-year time frame has been wonderful. I am very happy. I'm very glad to have still been here, to still be doing what I'm doing. It has been a pleasure. And for those of you who have been here since day one, I'm talking my A1 day ones. I'm talking about the sons of bitches who was talking about me when I didn't even know how to broadcast and I just had a damn green screen with nothing on it behind me. You bastards, you know who you are. And you was wrong as shit, but it was funny. Some people say it was our doctor. Why I got that dirty ass green sheet behind me. I didn't know how it was green screen. I didn't know no better. All right, hey, a brother like Tommy Sotomayor took a chance on a nigga, and he got me in this game. He blessed me and took time out of his busy schedule to look down on low like a peasant like me to say, come on, little nigga, I'm gonna give you a shot. You know, I'm gonna see what you got. And hey, look at me now, okay? Okay. I'm better than what I was, and that's all that matters. And like I said, hey man, to my brother Tommy, wherever you're at, first of all, congratulations on your power move. Second of all, I just want to say thank you, my nigga. You, at the end of the day, everybody say what the hell they want to say, but man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I love you, brother. And hey, thank you. So what's going on? Let me give this salute to the first person in the chat. Let's see here, and that is none other than my man Skoha. Appreciate you, brother. What the hell my brother say? And I bet you have on gym shorts. Hey man, that's none of your goddamn business if I got on gym shorts or not. I can have on boxer briefs, or it could be gym shorts, or it could be I can still have on my slacks. But I tell you one thing, I ain't got on no goddamn shoes. I can tell you that right now. I got my feet out like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. I'm massaging my feet in the carpet right about now. I'm just saying that's what it is. I'm up here on the top floor. I'm in the old Philip Drummond penthouse suite. That's what it's overlooking here. That's now the world don't move. Yep, I'm up in the Philip Drummond suite overlooking the city. That's where I'm at right now. So hey, it is what it is. And that's all it is. But I'm here and I'm happy. I feel good about myself. And I'm glad y'all here. He said you probably wearing loose suede shoes. What the hell is loose suede? He said loose suede shoes. Bring y'all asses over to the motherfucking other channel so you can type in your shit. Especially let me tell y'all something. Since my brother got some smart shit to say. Y'all see that Herbert Redmond in the chat? Over here on the Relationship Rehab, this son of a bitch ain't even subscribed to his brother's other channel. Ain't that some shit? He over here chatting on the Relationship Rehab, and I done been told everybody to come over to United Guns of America, but this ornery some bitch still ain't came over here. I don't know what it is. He been the same selfish motherfucker since we was kids. I hope I can get a good deal like Flash, cause today's my last day as a heartbeat too. Okay? Okay. That's what it is, but I love my brother. This no good ass some bitch. But whatever. Get over here to the other side so I can see your comments in the goddamn right chat. But I want to talk about this Sanctuary City thing. And I'm going to tell y'all people like this. I was really just like, well, this is really, not my thing. I'm not really all that into the politics. But as you well know, sometimes things overlap. And this overlapped into something that I was initially talking about. And as I began to look into what I was going to talk about, it kind of led me back into this Sanctuary City thing. So I said, why not merge the two? By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. That's what we pretty much doing. We combining these two because this is some very pertinent information. I think a lot of people don't know, like myself at one point, I was quite ignorant to the Sanctuary City thing. I just thought, hey, this ain't nothing but a bunch of Mexicans trying to get over here into our cities and just live off of the system. Part of that's true, but the other part is a lot more to it than that. So I kind of like dug a little deep into it, and I watched a few videos, read a couple of articles. I'm not really a big reader. I'm more of a visual person. You gotta like show me what's happening. I kind of did a little bit of that, and I found a video that kind of like gave a really good general explanation of it. So I said, let's do that, and then this is going to take me where I really want to go. Okay, cool. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and play. I got this real nice, lovely young lady on this here thing. She really does something to me when I hear her voice, and it's sultry and sexy. It does something to my middle area, gets my private parts going when I hear a voice. So I like to just play this. I sometimes I just play it even when I'm not doing the show. I just play it. That's what I do. I'm just a freak like that. I'm sorry. Hey, I am who I am. Don't judge me. Well, now you can judge me because I don't get no fuck no way. But here we go.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Telling me all about it. 107. Just the way she say 107 is just way better than I ever said. That's the 107, the way she break it down. All right, so first and foremost, that was the fair use. But first and foremost, what we're going to do now is go over the Sanctuary City thing so we can all get on the same page.
There's rapes, murders,
Satan worshipers,
American lives are being... Bitch, wait a minute now.
When we think about sanctuary cities, we tend to imagine, depending on our political view, either lawless cesspools where federal law is utterly ignored.
Pretty much the definition of anarchy.
human sacrifices, rapes, murders.
Satan worshipers. American lives are being lost.
They are breaking the law. They are harboring fugitives. This is absolutely nuts.
Or havens for one of the nation's most marginal.
That fat black dude always be talking cash shit. I swear for Lord. I don't know his name, but every time he on, he just be talking cash shit, man. I swear to God he do. I just be like, man, what the hell is he always just talking? His stomach is always this and the liberal something. He just be talking that shit. Go ahead.
Groups.
You are safe in Chicago.
This is about human beings, families.
And we will continue to be a place of refuge.
But in reality, neither of those descriptions quite fit. And to understand why, you have to put yourself in the shoes of a local police officer. First, what are sanctuary cities? They're cities and counties in the U.S. that limit their cooperation with immigration enforcement, which falls under federal jurisdiction. These policies are different in different places. In Chicago, it means city employees aren't supposed to share residents' immigration status with other people. In Washington, D.C., it means police officers are barred from asking residents about their immigration status. But often, it comes down to this. How does a local police officer handle an unauthorized immigrant that he's already arrested for some other reason? Let's say a cop pulls someone over for speeding. The cop notices this person has an unpaid speeding ticket, and they miss their day in court. So the cop arrests the person, books them into the local jail. While they wait for someone to post bail, the person gets fingerprinted. That's part of the booking process. Those fingerprints then get sent to an FBI database, and then a database kept by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. That step is mandatory. Whether or not a city calls itself a sanctuary city, it still has to send those fingerprints through the FBI database. If the fingerprints match up with someone who ICE knows is an unauthorized immigrant, they might send the local cops holding this person something called a detainer request. The detainer request is just that. It's a request. The federal government is asking, not demanding, that police hold that person for an extra 48 hours after they would normally be released. That gives ICE time to come by, pick them up, start the deportation process. Now, ICE can't force local law enforcement to hold someone just by sending one of these detainer requests. The Constitution's 10th Amendment prohibits state governments from having to enforce federal law, and some federal courts have decided that detainer requests fall into that category. So, if you're a local police chief or sheriff and you get one of these requests, you have a choice. Do you honor the request or do you let the person go? Let's say you honor the request, keep the person in jail for an extra 48 hours. ICE comes to pick them up, and they get deported. Word gets out around the immigrant community. Anytime you interact with local police, it could mean deportation. Eventually, immigrants will be afraid to call the police, even when they're the victims of crime or the witnesses to it. And then immigrants become easy targets.
Because the bad guys know that many immigrants will not call the police.
For a local police chief, this is a big problem. It's impossible to do their jobs when they don't have people's trust.
500,000 Angelenos, people that live in Los Angeles, are undocumented immigrants. I need their cooperation. I need them to work with their local police stations. I need them to be witnesses to violent crime.
What about the other option? What happens if you ignore the order and let this person go home?
So let me catch you up to speed right here. So, because I don't want to get off into the details of this and just saying, oh, well, this person this and this person that, and this is from this group and this from that group. Essentially, pretty much from what I've been able to gather, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but for the most part in general, all it is that the federal government is asking for a local government, the local law enforcement, to say, hey, when you guys catch an illegal, let us know so we can come scoop the motherfucker up and deport the motherfucker. Sanctuary cities are saying, we're not giving out that information. The federal government is saying, well, we're just requesting that it is. We can't force y'all to do it. So all we're doing is just request it. When we say, and when they say an illegal, we're saying somebody who is in the country that's not supposed to be here. They have not come into the country the legal way. So that's what they're saying. That's what you were asking, Sko. So once they do that, they'll say, hey, if they cooperating, they'll hold the person, wait for ICE to go ahead and do their thing, take the fingerprints and all that stuff because they're supposed to run through the federal database. And then ICE will come, scoop them up, and deport them. Sanctuary cities are not doing that. And the reason why a lot of sanctuary cities aren't doing that is because some sanctuary cities, like Los Angeles, they have a ton of immigrants. And a lot of those immigrants are literally powering their economy. They making shit go round. They cutting grass, picking fruit, whatever you want to call it. So they are not as inclined to get them up out of there because they are getting benefits from them. Cheaper labor, all that kind of shit. However, that's only one part of it. And that's the part that everybody tries to paint. These people are coming over here and they are actually just trying to make their way through life like our forefathers did, like our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers who were immigrants and came over and landed on Ellis Island and came in that way. They're trying to make a future in their life for themselves, and we're America, goddammit, and we should do the same. However, what they're leaving out is just as many innocent, hard-working people that are trying to come over here. 50% of that, and the other 50% are your low-down, drug-dealing, crime-loving, criminal-minded, diabolical motherfucking aliens that are coming over here, kicking off that MS-13 shit and all the other shit that's going on. So you have two sides of it. And because of that, then that's why you have the rub or the friction is saying, well, we don't want them here because we're getting a lot of these people that are coming over here, taking advantage of the system. They're benefiting from the system, and they're also bringing a criminal element to the system. And that was one of the things with this is saying, well, you have kind of both sides. So I kind of see the point to where people want to create a safe haven, give us you're sick and you're tired and you're weary and you're downtrodden. Yep, but then you have the other side where you got people literally coming over here setting up shop. And those people are coming over here committing crimes against Americans, and they're also committing crimes against illegals because they know the illegals won't tell or won't call the police because they don't want to be deported either. So that's where the whole pot gets stirred and it gets real messy.
First, there's no guarantee that they won't get deported anyway. Whether a city considers itself a sanctuary or not, local law enforcement can't stop ICE from deporting someone. But there's another problem. Think of the levels of government like rungs on a ladder. You have the federal government at the top level, that includes agencies like ICE.
Here's where the money comes into play.
You have the state government, governors, legislatures in the middle. And then at the bottom you have local government, mayors, police chiefs, sheriffs. If the federal government issues a detainer request and the local police department refuses to accept it, the state government can step in by taking away one of the state funding streams from the local police. That's what happened in Texas in 2017.
The governor of the great state of Texas, Greg Abbott, has declared he will sign a law banning sanctuary cities. He's already issued an order that cuts funding to those sanctuary cities.
This is dangerous, and I will not allow it as governor of Texas.
This map shows the counties in red that always cooperate with ICE and the ones that don't. Those are in orange, yellow, and green. The green counties have the most restrictions on when they cooperate with ICE detainer requests. In late January 2017, shortly after he got into office, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that opens the door to withholding federal funds from sanctuary cities or counties.
Okay.
The wording of that order is vague, and it's already being challenged in federal court. But if Trump's plan does move forward, it could put local law enforcement officers across the country in a lose-lose situation. For them, deciding whether to honor a detainer
right, Jimmy
request
D,
is
gotta
often about
love
choosing
Texas,
between
man.
financial
I tell you.
security on one hand and public safety on the other.
So that's pretty much what's going on. That's pretty much what's happening with that. So when you look at the two sides of it, in my opinion, when you're looking at it from what's in the best interest for the country, there has to be a better way for us to have people from other countries come over here. No place else in the world can you just show the fuck up and just be a part of the country and that's just it. You can't take your ass over to China. You can't go over to Switzerland, just pop up, say, I'm here. And they just say, come on. You can't go up into Canada and just say, yeah, I'm here now. I'm a citizen and that's it. And just take advantage of everything that's there. You can't just do that. So it's like, when you look at it, that's essentially what a lot of people are saying they want to just keep doing here. It's been going on for years and it's not working for us. Which is why when people like Trump say they want to get a wall up and all that kind of stuff, it's a thing to where it's not the perfect solution, but it's at least some type of tourniquet to help stop the bleeding. Because right now, with there being no borders, essentially, it's too open. And then when you're talking about the sanctuary city piece of it, you literally have government entities, you have cities, counties, and things like that are literally not even asking about their people's status, if they are illegal or if they aren't. They are not reporting that information if they do know it. So it's like there's a thing to where I believe that the politicians need to be held accountable on both sides. We need to come up with some type of system or some type of solution to where we can get a hold on this. Because no, can you stop everybody from getting over here illegally? No, you can't. But we could damn sure mitigate it and make it quite difficult for people that are getting over here. Because whether you want to face it or not, there are a lot of people coming over here that are committing crimes. Plain and simple. It's a lot of people coming over here literally fucking shit up and putting in motherfucking work and taking over areas, taking over cities, taking over little small towns and just causing and wreaking fucking havoc. And it's hard for law enforcement to try to, play a part in trying to enforce the law and stop this shit when you have illegal aliens that don't want to talk to the police because they fear being deported. And when you have those people that are here just being literally terrorized because they are the criminals, they're not talking to the police neither. So it's like, what do? You can't trust illegal aliens to police themselves. You can't trust for them to do the right thing. So what do? You need to control your controllables, which is us trying to control our borders as best as we possibly can. That's one. Two, there needs to be some type of federal regulation or federal enforcement that everybody's participating in, not just certain cities picking and choosing. Or if that's the way you want to do it, then let everybody just come to those cities. You catch somebody in a city that's not a sanctuary city, then we ship your ass to Cali or we ship your ass to Chicago, and that's where you go. But as you can clearly see, Nancy Pelosi was like, well, no, I don't want to have them do that. Exactly. And it's like the thing that pisses me off the most about this is that with most of your left liberal politicians, they're the main ones who want to take away our guns. They're the main ones who just want to let any and everybody come over here and just live where they want to live and set down roots and do whatever. However, they are the very ones that live in gated communities with armed security guards. They're the very ones, those very same politicians that's up in Washington, D.C. talking about we need to get rid of all of the guns. They drive into a gated community every goddamn night, and then they're the ones that go to sleep at night because they got security guards walking around with guns, walking around their grounds, protecting them and making sure they're safe. MS-13 not coming to set up dope houses in their area. They're not coming to set up a trap, and they're not trapping across the street from them because they're in their gated communities. They talking about they don't want a wall, but they live behind one themselves. And it's like, I'm so tired of us not having the sense to recognize that. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming us. The ones that's voting for them, putting them in office. There are so many of us that are so stupid that we're not even looking at where they're living and saying, well, shit, you live in a gated community with a fence. What the hell do you mean we don't need a wall? So when you're looking at that piece and then you take it a step further and you say, well, now what is the fallout or the ramifications of that, of us just having an open door policy, if you will, like we're in a goddamn corporate office? it's devastating to see how much crime and things like that's taking place that we have no control over, because we have people just coming here that we don't know anything about, don't know what the hell they're doing. And you're talking about 1 or 2 people here. Yeah, okay, well, how about 20 or 30 people? 20 or 30 people, that's a small army. That's a militia. You get 20 or 30 determined people with firearms, they can do some fucking damage. They can take over a small town. They can take over a neighborhood block. They can take over a neighborhood. They can take over a community. They literally can. They literally can. So it's like there is a certain cost that we are paying for that. Not to mention all of the government entities that are actually taking care of them too, that they're able to take advantage of the benefits that they're getting. They get to walk into the same hospitals that we walk into. They get to go to the same aid offices that we go into. They get the same WIC. They get the same, all of those things that they get those that we get. They get those same things. But meanwhile, when we're working, we're paying for that. They're working, but they're keeping all their money because they're working for cash. It doesn't make sense. They are over here working for cash, keeping all of their money, and they just doing what they're doing. They just navigating. They're not paying FICA. They're not paying unemployment. They're not paying none of that. They, doing whatever it is they're doing, whether they working on a farm illegally, whether they working for a construction company illegally, whether they, picking fruit, cutting grass. I don't give a damn what they're doing. They're getting paid cash, they're getting paid under the table, and they're not paying taxes. And we are. And they're still benefiting from those government entities. Their kids are going to school. Those people are bringing their kids, going to school, getting the free education, getting free lunch, getting all that other shit that they're getting. They are taking advantage of it. I don't have a problem with people coming over here to this country. I just have a problem with how they do it. And I believe that that's fair. And I believe that all of our government officials should be on the same page with that. You just come the fuck over here and do what the fuck you want to do. That shit was out over and done with back in the day. Yeah, when everybody was settling in, you had people coming in from Scotland and Ireland and Italy and all those migrant people. Fine, that's the way it was back then. This is now. Shit's changed. And the fact that it has, we need to be more diligent, because at the end of the day, it's more people here doing more things, and we ain't got as much land, we ain't got as many resources, we got a whole lot of debt and all the other shit you want to talk about. We just can't continue to sustain our way of life this way by doing that. And my biggest concern is the safety issue. So initially, before I even got into this is essentially what I was looking at in the beginning, what my first thoughts on this video was going to be about, until it changed because of the whole sanctuary city piece. So let's watch this. Do.
Like that.
Shots fired! Shots fired
on a police officer. Now, you hear that barrage of firepower going on here. According to ICE, sanctuary policies in California led to this deadly shootout. You see that? Let's keep going.
Can I first? Wait right there, don't move, okay? Wait right there, don't move, okay?
So, let me frame this up. So that gentleman right there you see sitting in that vehicle, his name is Javier Morales. He is in the United States illegally. All right? And pretty much what that meant was he was an illegal immigrant. He came over here and he essentially got into a shootout with a police officer. And it wasn't one of those things where the police officer was like, hey, they was messing with him. And they pulled him over because he was Mexican and all Mexican lives matter. They shouldn't have stopped. Nope. Pulled his ass over and he fired on her, which you will clearly see. And yes, Jason, she gave him everything she got. She let that motherfucking pistol ride like she should have. She gave him the business.
Can I first? Wait right there, don't move, okay?
Now, boom, here's the next point. He had been deported from the United States 3 separate times. So that means on 3 different occasions, he got put out this motherfucker, came back, got put out this motherfucker, came back, got put out this motherfucker, and came back again. He just couldn't get enough. He said, I like it over here. I love it. I like coming over here. It's a good time. I have a lot of things like running water, electricity. I get to come over here and watch TV. We got the internet. I just like it I like being over here. But hey, it is what it is. But he's been over here. He got deported 3 separate times, and yet and still he finds himself here again, being pulled over by a police officer. Now, here's what we're talking about. At this time that this video was recorded, a detainer was issued by ICE for Morales' deportation, which was that thing we were talking about before, saying, hey, can you guys hold this guy because he's not supposed to be here and we're going to come get him and deport him. But in California, their sanctuary city laws allow Morales to leave the county jail. So that whole 48-hour time period that they were talking about, well, because being in California, they was like, nah, we're going to let him go on and go because he's just a citizen coming from a terrible situation over in Mexico, and he's trying to come here and build a life for himself. And this is America, goddammit, and he should be able to do that. Despite a lengthy criminal record, including battery of a peace officer. So this motherfucker was already over here kicking up dust. And not only had he been kicking up dust, but he also fucked up a police officer at some point. He got into a skirmish or a tussle or scuffle, whatever the case may be. So we all know that this dude's intentions were not good and wholesome, but yet and still he's still here.
Roll it down. Roll down the window.
Now, ICE, hell no. ICE issued a scathing statement after this event took place.
Roll down the window.
This incident may have been prevented if ICE had been notified about any of the multiple times Morales was released. So because of the sanctuary city laws that local government is currently enforcing, this dude was able to not only get by, but he got by several times. He slipped through the cracks of the system, if you will, and because of that, here's what happened. Police officers making a routine stop. You can clearly see in the reflection of the mirror that she's making a stop. She's getting this guy to roll down the window, and here's what happens.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Woo! Did you see that gun work? Hey, man, let me tell you something. Now, 2 things here. Number 1, she got lucky as shit because that shot did not hit her. He in his own panic and his own fuck up, he didn't get that shot. He didn't get to place that shot. He got a shot off, but he didn't get to place it, and he did not hit her. And if you see here on the replay, you'll see that he brings the gun up and he pulls the trigger, which shows that his intention was to shoot this bitch. Like, I'm shooting this bitch because I'm not gonna get deported again because I'm paying too much money to get brought over here in these underground tunnels. God damn it, I'm tired of paying this money. And what happened, he came up and he fired a little prematurely. And because of that, it missed her and she was able to retreat. But she retreated and she came around, which was smart as shit. She came around the vehicle on the other side because it would make him shooting at her more difficult, which was very smart of her to do that. And she let that Glock ride. Boy, I'm telling you, that thing was riding. And she stayed on. I know the way she just stayed on target. It was like, that's what good training do for you. When shit hits the fan and you're panicking and your adrenaline's pumping, Good muscle memory will deliver you to safety. Yes, I love my Glocks too, Jason. So you see, bam. He was gonna shoot her, but got off. He missed.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Called out shots fired. I believe she emptied that man. That's 15 shots. Now, unless she had if she had a Glock 26, I'm sorry, she had a Glock 22, then that means that she had one more shot left because it's 15 in the mag, 1 in the chamber. If she had a Glock 17, then that means that she let that motherfucker ride and she still had 3 more shots left. Because the Glock 17 gonna hold 18. 17, 1 in the chamber. I'm telling you, she gave him the business.
In less than a split second. Hernandez Morales fired on Deputy Drakey from a very close proximity, essentially without warning. And it's pretty obvious to us that he intended to kill her.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. His intentions was to shoot the shit out that bitch. National news coverage of the event failed to mention Morales' immigration. And here's where the shit gets thick. Yes, I am a fan of the Beretta, and you need to be over on the other channels so you can actually talk about it and see your comments. But yeah, this the fact that they didn't mention like, hey, this dude had been here, this dude had been over here illegally and got deported 3 times. That's where the bullshit enters the game, because they didn't want to talk about it and saying because this was a sanctuary city, this dude was able to be over here. Now, in all fairness, if this wasn't a sanctuary city and this dude had been deported again, let's not say, I can't say that he wouldn't have never made his way back over, because it's possible. My point is this: our federal government, our government officials, they all need to be on the same page to say, yes, we understand that a wall and having no sanctuary cities is going to end immigration or illegal immigration. However, it should make it a lot more difficult. Could I possibly pack up my shit and climb through the woods and mountains and sneak over into Canada? Yes, I possibly could, but it's going to be quite fucking difficult. That's my thing. And that's the same way it should be here. It should be difficult. What's going on, Lady La? It should be difficult, and that's all I'm saying. We need to be doing everything possible to make it difficult for these immigrants to come over here, as opposed to letting them know, if you come to Chicago or if you come to California, you're good. You can just hang out here because we ain't going to give up no information, and we're not trying to get y'all asses out of here. That's all I'm saying. So I think that was real. That's where the shady bullshit comes into play, to where they're not mentioning that, hey, had this dude not been in the sanctuary city, that probably would have been deported, probably wouldn't have been there, and that stop probably would not have happened. So
block funding for sanctuary cities. We blocked the funding. No more funding.
So now this is the thing where people are getting upset because the funding is getting blocked, which means, hey, you getting less money because your ass ain't cooperating with us because they taking this shit seriously. And I do say this: I applaud Trump for taking this shit serious, because I believe that it is. And you talking about people who don't live on the border or don't live anywhere near the border, then yeah, I guess it wouldn't really matter to you. But you tell that to the people down in fucking Juarez, Texas, where that shit is damn near considered fucking Mexico, because it's so close to the fucking border and there's so many illegal immigrants over there. Damn near the cartel done killed so many motherfucking law enforcement officials that done tried to like establish a line over there. It's a goddamn shame. That's all I'm saying. There is a reason why we need some type of protection on our border, and the way that it's set up now with these bullshit chain link fences, it's asinine to think that we're going to be able to stop that, which is why it's so out of hand.
We will end the sanctuary cities that have resulted in so many needless deaths. Cities that refuse to cooperate with federal authorities will not receive taxpayer dollars, and we will work with Congress to pass legislation to protect those jurisdictions that do assist federal authorities.
Leads me back here. Oh damn, I sent you the wrong link. I'm sorry. Let me fix that right
now. Shots fired, shots fired.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how you go to work. That's all I got. I'm telling you right now, that's how you go to work. And the other thing about that too is, out of this whole situation, let's just say, for instance, if that dude would have placed that shot. And that brought me to my third point, which is one of the most important ones too. So many times we see people talk about cops shouldn't have shot this person, didn't have to shoot that person like that, and all that kind of stuff. You see a lot of people talk about that. Let me tell y'all something. It is very, 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 very easy for that stop to go bad. And we're talking about literally seconds. And my thing is this. And when I was out, I always approached every stop like this could be it. Every stop I approached it like this could be the one. And it's like when you and you're talking about somebody who was in law enforcement a year and a half, almost 2 years. The reason why I have to approach it that way is because I want to be ready. And I don't want to be in a situation or in a position to where I'm not ready. And when you talk about police officers that are doing the same thing day in, day out for not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 10 years, you can get lackadaisical. You can get comfortable. You can get complacent. And what will happen is that you will approach that car one day when you're tired, you done worked a double or you done worked overtime, you didn't get enough sleep the night before, and you will walk up to that car and you won't be ready. And that person will place a good shot. And you know what happens? You don't go home. And there are so many police officers that know that. There are so many police officers that think about that and that are aware of that. Because if they don't go home, my daughter's not going to see her dad anymore. My son may not see his mother anymore. My children won't be able to, I won't see my children grow up. And all because of what? Some illegal alien that's not supposed to be over here and is scared to being deported is going to fucking kill me? Are you serious? And I think it's a tragedy that our government officials are putting that type of shit are putting us in that position to where it can happen to us. They should be the main ones trying to, at all costs, deter that. Plain and simple. And I don't give a damn how you want to paint it. You can try to say, oh, well, that's Trump is the one that's making all this. No, bullshit to the back. Every officer that walks out onto their beat, onto their schedule, onto their patrol, whatever it is that they have to do when they go out into this world, that is what they're faced with every day. I can't tell you how many times somebody has shot a police officer because they had a warrant. They was on their second strike. They thought the police was going to lock them up. They didn't know that they was, all they had on them was a fucking blunt. And the police officer probably would have let them go. All they had was some traffic warrants. Police probably would have let them go. But because they thinking I don't want to go to jail, they do shit like that. Going to jail and going to prison are two different things. But going to the graveyard, going to the morgue is something totally different. Right, I ain't going back to jail. That's what they say, Jason. What the fuck did that fucking, whatever the fuck that is flying around here? They said I'm not going back. So it's like when you have that type of mentality and you have somebody who is trying to uphold the law, trying to keep our cities safe, trying to keep our streets safe, trying to keep our citizens safe, and that's what they're faced against. Hell, it's one thing when you got to deal with that coming from the U.S. citizens. It's a whole different ballgame when you're dealing with motherfuckers who shouldn't even be here in the first place. That doesn't make any sense. And again, I'm not saying that having a wall is absolute. Of course not. But it helps. You really want to get serious? Put some patrols on that wall. Put some turrets on the top of that goddamn wall if you want to. Whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is there needs to be a process that people have to follow to get in this country. And if you're not following that process, then damn you to hell, your ass ain't coming over here. Plain and simple. I don't give a damn what type of a dictator, what type of a ruler you got, if it's Slick Rick the ruler, or if it's some other terrible ruler, whatever the case may be. If you not coming over here the right way, then fuck you if you coming over here the wrong way. Because, yeah, you got mothers with kids and all that shit trying to get over here. That's not our responsibility. It's terrible. And it's a bad thing. And no, I don't want it to happen to them. But I'd be damned if I just open up my gates and let any and everybody come over here at the expense of the people who are here the right way. Who were born here and that are here now. I'd be damned if I put them at risk. And you look at it like this. For those of you who are feeling for these people that are illegal aliens, let them come live with you. Let somebody you don't know, have no information on, don't speak their language, don't know their background, let them come live in the house with you and your children. Would you do that? Well, of course not. I wouldn't do that. That's the same way that you government officials should be looking at it. Because it's not just a bunch of adults over here. There are children that's over here that can suffer from this. Because if that police officer would have gotten shot and would have gotten killed and would have died in the line of duty, there's a child at home that I'm sure that that police officer had that would have lost a mother. So, should we keep our borders open? Should we let continue with sanctuary cities and the benefits of having sanctuary cities? Should it be at the expense of that officer's life? I think not. Exactly. UFO, undocumented strangers. We tell our kids about stranger danger, how not to talk to strangers, how not to deal with strangers, don't go around strangers, don't be with strangers. We tell them to do all that shit. And then what do we do? How not to deal with strangers, don't go around. And we sit there and we say, well, we're going to let a bunch of strangers come over here because we feel they should be here. What? How, Sway? How? I just tried that link, Tracy, over on the Relationship Rehab. It works. So you putting something in wrong or something, but that link works. Copy and paste. Try a different browser, close your browser up, open it up, back up, whatever you want to do, but it works. But that's my point with all this. It was like me initially, I was just watching this video and I was thinking about the fact of how traffic stops can go wrong like that. But when I saw the other information around this, with this person being an illegal alien, with these people that are coming over here at these alarming rates and that are committing crimes and all that kind of stuff, I thought a little bit further and said, well, man, look, this has to be a deeper problem or a bigger issue that needs to be addressed, obviously. There's more to this that needs to be talked about, that needs to be brought to the forefront, that we are definitely missing at this point. So it's like that was my biggest concern in this, is saying, well, damn, why are we making it this easy for people to come over here when we see the negative aspects of it? Are there some positives? Yeah, I get it. There are, but there are way too many more negatives because we have our U.S. citizens' lives at stake here. And that's what we're playing with. Right, Jason. Say, try going over the Vatican wall and see what happens. Exactly. No place else in the world can you do that. And yes, there is a problem over, I believe it is in Sweden, where they've had so many Middle Eastern immigrants come over there that those dudes are over there wreaking fucking havoc. They are raping women. They are stabbing people like no other's business. They have a huge problem with a spike in crime by those immigrants. Because they over there saying, oh, these nice motherfuckers, they ain't even got guns. Oh shit, yeah, we about to take over. And they nice and passive. Oh yeah, we about to come over here and kick shit up. And they've had their assaults have risen, their rapes have risen, violent crime has all risen because they just letting people come over there. They're allowing those illegal immigrants to just come over there and bringing them in. Come on, we'll take care of you. We'll get you set up here. We'll let you come and live here. And there is a good percentage of those people who do come over here and are just trying to make a life for themselves. I get it. But they should not be doing it illegally. That's all to it. That's it, and that's all. And if they come over here and they do some fuck shit like this dude did, you get beat up. You beat up a police officer, then got deported 3-4 times, got a record and all that shit over here. Motherfucker, you shouldn't be allowed to come back. Put his ass on the do not enter list or some shit like that, whatever you want to call it. But he should not be able to come over here and do that, because there's so many things that can go wrong, and there's so much fallout that can come of that, because we have so many citizens that they're just literally at risk. They're like fucking just sitting ducks. Ducks in a pond. Ducks in a barrel. I don't know, man. But that was the only thing I wanted to bring to light here. It was, terrible that this police officer was put in this situation. But kudos to her. Shout out to her for the way she moved and went to work with that Glock. I tell you, that shit was fucking awesome. It was good work, good to see. And I'm telling you, what some training can do and some muscle memory will do for you, it will save your life. Those of you who have firearms, whether you have been trained through law enforcement or trained to the military, or if you're just a regular citizen, I tell you this: keep going to the range, keep practicing. There are plenty of drills you can look at on YouTube on how to practice with your firearm. Yes, dry firing is good at home, but you need to go to the range. Put some rounds down range with your firearms. Don't just have your gun sitting pretty in the shelf at your house or in your safe or on your desk, or walking around with your gun and you not going to the range. If you ain't going to the range at least once or twice a month, you're doing yourself an injustice. Get yourself a firearm that you can shoot where you ain't got to have no real expensive ass ammo. 9mm ammo is very cheap. Get you some of that cheap ass ammo, take your ass to the range, and keep practicing. You can always get better. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when your life is on the line, that adrenaline's pumping, you're scared, you're excited, your what do you call that? Your fine motor skills disappear. Tunnel vision sets in. And all you have to rely on is your training, and which is going to be based on muscle memory. Not what you know, but what you practice. If you don't practice, you ain't going to do shit when it happens. If you practice, it's going to kick in for you. Trust me. Trust me, I know. So I'm just telling you, make sure that you go and you practice so that you can be able to perform like this when something like this comes your way and it happens. Because you may not be as lucky as she was, but at least you want to give yourself the best advantage possible to survive. It is what it is. But anybody got any questions or anything, you can shoot them out to me. This was a good show. I'm glad I was able to talk about this. Had a good time with y'all tonight. If you're over on the relationship rehab, I hope that link worked. I want to see if, I don't know if you were able to get over here, Tracy, or not, but if you haven't, you can click the like button, please. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep things going, keep things popping. I appreciate you guys coming through. Lady La, double barrel here. All right, mace, taser, knife, etc. Right, I feel you, Lady La. I'm telling you. Those are close combat weapons. They don't work like a gun does. Yeah, you right about that, Jason. Ain't nothing like having that pistol, boy, having that iron. And I tell people this all the time. A gun is not something that will save you, but a gun will give you a chance. It is a tool to give you a chance to live. Because yes, you can be somewhere and somebody can get the drop on you where you cannot pull your firearm, and you can be just as dead as somebody who don't have a gun. But there could be a chance where you see somebody coming and you can be ready and you can defend yourself, or you can even thwart off the attack altogether just by knowing what to do and being well trained in what you know how to do, and carrying that firearm with you at all times, keeping it on you at all times. The only time I take my gun off is when I'm about to go lay down for the night, and I'll put it right next to me. That's all I'm saying. I keep it on me, even when I'm in the house. A lot of people have the habit of taking it off. Don't. Keep your gun in your holster, ready to rock and roll until you ready to go to bed. Taking off my pants, that's when my gun come off. Other than that, it's on me. When I get up out the bed, I want to put some pants on, put my gun on with me. That's what I do. Keep it on like drawers. You walk around with drawers on, you need to have your gun on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But thank you guys. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. If you are watching this on the replay, make sure you go ahead and you can click that subscribe button, click the like button, and you can click the donate button. As you see, I don't know why I never did it, but I got the Cash App stuff up there too. So if you guys want to donate, you can go right on ahead. And to those who have donated, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a shout out real quick. If this can go ahead and load up at some point. There we go. Get my Face ID going. What'd you say, Jace? He said he carried his under his arm. I feel you, brother. I'm telling you, I ain't playing with him out here. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, we had a couple donations tonight. Shout out to my man Ron Cash. Thank you, sir. He donated put 5 on it. He got 5 on it. Here's to an awesome show. Love your work, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Also to my man Jimmy D, he put $1 on it. Thank you so much for your donation, sir. That's what's up. I appreciate you guys taking the time out. Hold up. Wait. Got one more. I think, yep, I do. To my man Derek Floyd, thank you. He put 5 on it. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Remember, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I am Brian Redmond. This is the United Guns of America via the Relationship Rehab. If you're watching it on the Relationship Rehab, click the link over there. Come on over here and let's help this channel grow. Hey, I thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. And as always, peace, and I'm out. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's see here.